All right, what's going on, everyone? It's Jaron from Jeranism. Thank you for joining us for something new today. We're just going to try it, see how it goes. It is a pre-show for the Globebusters show that will be starting here in about 15 minutes, and we've already got Bob on the line and John. You guys there?
10-4. I am
Beautiful.
here, sir.
All right, and we've also got a special guest on Globebusters today, and he's joining us too right now. His name is Ryan. Ryan, how's it going this morning?
It's going good. Glad to be here, Jaron.
Where are you at? East Coast, West Coast?
West Coast, over in Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. Okay, so you're like me. What time is it there? Noon then? Almost noon?
Yeah, we got about 1 o'clock.
Okay,
1
so
p.m.
you're about an hour ahead. So, all right. Yeah, so everybody, thank you for joining us. And then if you want to find the link for the Globebusters show that will be starting in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you can just scroll down to the description and you should be able to find it. So, I haven't heard from Bob yet. Bob, you still there?
I'm sorry.
Okay, just
I
me.
muted.
I
I have a new microphone today, guys, and it's got the mute button on the front. And so, if I screw up a couple times, forgive me. I'll get used to the new mic.
John, I was saying we should have done a pre-show last week so everybody could see me rush around and try and get my audio working in time for the show. That would have been more fun. But now we have Bob back and his audio's working, so.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. And but no, by the way,
You'd be surprised.
By the way, I'm going to drop a link to the Globebuster show in the live chat. So there it goes.
Beautiful, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so hello everybody in the chat.
Oh, hello, chat. Yeah. So the reason, guys, we're doing this is obviously since Globebusters, it's been a while since we've been on, except last week it was on Jeranism's channel. And I had some audio problems, and it turns out, I blamed my son, Jaron, but I may have been a little premature on that. But, usually it's because he's screwing with my computer. It's hard for him to touch a computer and not rewrite the code, because that's kind of what he does and has done for a long, long time. So, So anyway, so what happened was, even though all of my audio devices were showing up correctly in virtual audio cable, one of them was actually phantomed, and it said the right thing, but it wasn't actually a correct input. And I kept overlooking that, and I was racking my brain for over an hour trying to figure out what was going on with it. And it even took Jaron a while to figure it out, but ultimately he did. And I think it had something to do with either an OBS or a Windows update that caused that to happen.
Yeah, it's funny, Bob, but I had that exact same error for the first time ever today, or maybe it was last night, and I was trying to use my Logitech wireless headset for either mic or speakers one, and it just wouldn't work. And I noticed that there was a duplicate of that same device in the list, and I used that, and it worked. So.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens, but Bob, we're all good now.
Dave was asking to join the pre-show. I don't know if you want to. Is he part of the Globebusters show call?
He is. Yeah. All he has to do is just dial in.
David, just dial in. It's easy. Figure it out. So yeah, thank you for the 212 people watching. We're just trying to see if we can get some more viewers over on Globebusters. So you'll get to hear us get ready for the show, which really just usually is this. Isn't it exciting?
Yeah. We don't need no stinking preparation.
No, we don't need no prep. I'm excited to see some of Ryan's stuff today. That should be very good. And there's lots of going on. So,
yeah.
Morgal, have you seen that video about the 1800s book about Trump?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Was
that Nathan Roberts talking, or is it just me that thought
that? Flat Earth Brothers that did that.
He sounds just like Nathan Roberts. Like,
craziness.
It's uncanny. Yeah.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He really does. Same demeanor, same, religious belief system, all that. And yeah, I thought it was Nathan Roberts for the longest time. But no, I was looking at that and it's like, if that's true, that is a mind blower. That's kind of like the same thing as Lincoln being assassinated at the Ford Theater and, that whole thing, and Kennedy.
Oh, all the differences and the similarities?
Yeah. It's very similar to that. And it's like, wow, that's absolutely mind-boggling. So if you haven't seen that yet, go over to Flat Earth Brothers and check that video out. I think it's his latest one. I forgot what it's called, but that's mind-boggling.
Pretty insane.
Hey guys.
Yeah, so like the guy, the Secretary of Agriculture in that book was like something Pence, Pence. Pence. So like, what are the odds of that? Barron Trump's protege or his mentor or whatever was Don. There was like so many little.
The little picture looks identical to him too. And one's
it
called The
could have
Last
been
President.
like his caricature.
Yeah, but I have a question for you guys. How do we know that wasn't inserted literally yesterday or last year? How do we know that that's a real book and that they're not just screwing with us?
Yeah, could be.
I'd have to see a real version of the book. I mean, that's still the craziest thing, John, about that video you did, and I know we've talked about it many times, but Iron Republic is one of those situations where it's hard for me to believe that that's a real book, because there's too many things in that book that couldn't have been written in the late 1800s, but we can't find a real copy. All there is the PDF that you read from, and you can find it in the Library of Congress and stuff, but it's all digital. I've never seen the real magazine from Florida Magazine.
I've never seen it either, but after doing that video, I got either like a comment or an email from someone who claimed to have gone to a public library, I think in Pennsylvania somewhere, and told me that they found a copy of it. They had one left and it was legit. But again, if I haven't seen it, like I don't even know who that person was necessarily, so that could have been just a trap, right? Who knows? But yeah, there's that.
Lots of shouts out to everybody in the chat. I see Wide Awake there. Wide Awake, one of the best channels. If you haven't taken a look, he does a absolute awesome job at observations over there in Florida. So check him out, and I will show your. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I just put a. I just approved some dirtball comment. Let me remove that one again. I meant to approve the Wide Awake link.
Oh, I did it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Hey guys, listen, a friend sent me a link to an article the other day, and I just got around to reading it last night. It was actually written April 13th of 2018, but it's about China's moon mission and China hoping to create a mini biosphere on the dark side, or the so-called dark side of the moon, and to grow flowers and silkworms on the dark side of the moon. Now, one thing that I found was interesting, because it's a pretty long article, but towards the end of the article, they state that China aims to land a man on the moon sometime after 2030. That's 2030. Most observers say, while last year an official said that it would not take long before Beijing approved a manned lunar project. Now, again, this was written last year in April, so it's not even a year old. And yet they basically state in the article that China did a simulated, like graphically simulated mission to the moon, or they were planning one, but they weren't even aiming to go to the moon until the year 2030. So what my question is China really even claiming to have gone to the moon? Or is it like what we saw was actually a digital simulation of them going to the moon? And A, did they claim that that was them going? Or B, is this some sort of a misinformation that we're getting from China?
No, they've. I mean, as far as what they're saying, they're claiming to have photographs and stereograph 360 images of the moon. So they're definitely claiming they are there.
So, okay, so they were planning to be going by 2030, which was another, well, at the time, 12 years.
Maybe that's man landing, though.
Right, okay, so they didn't claim to have sent anyone on this mission. This was just them landing
Just
robotics?
Just their little robot. And, of course, if you landed on the dark side, then you never need to worry about sending fake images of Earth, which is why they do that.
Right. So how are they doing? Like I guess they claim to have satellites around the moon that they can bounce their communication signals off of, I suppose.
Yeah, they claim to have one satellite that they sent a few months before or something that's orbiting the moon, but it's still hilarious that they can't send live video when they did that in 1969. It's like, why wouldn't you? Especially you have that satellite right there, just bounce it off, and yeah, it's crazy. I saw somebody else saying on one of my videos a comment yesterday. They're like, man, you always talk about there's no 24/7 live stream of the ISS. Don't you know that it's going around the Earth and sometimes it's on the dark side? I'm like, is there no such thing as satellites in your world? If in their world there's satellites, they could just beam the signal back anywhere. It's ridiculous that people accept this nonsense. They only would accept it from space. They wouldn't accept it from anything else.
Well, and of course, technological advancement goes backwards the more money you spend on it, if it has to do with space.
Right.
So, they dump dozens of billions of dollars into space every year, yet our technology becomes, less capable of doing missions and such to the moon.
Ridiculous.
It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, this is the same amount of memory that's in a Game Boy is what they used to get to the moon then, And now we look. I mean, you've got. What's crazy to me is the iPhone in your pocket has more memory than the entire NASA complex at Cape Canaveral had in 1969. There's more memory in your damn pocket. And how are we supposed to believe we're just going backwards through all this? And it's only space travel, and people love it, man. People.
Yep.
Well,
love
and
it.
you got to imagine too, like it's not just the capability of the computers, but the software. I mean, what software did they have back in the 1970s? You're talking like Pong was the best video game, right? If Pong was even a thing yet, and Tetris would have been light years ahead of that, you know. And so if you don't have software that's got, assuming a sphere Earth and infinite space, if your software isn't up to par, it doesn't matter what your computing power is. You're not going to do anything in space, even if it existed with that technology. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Pong was
Oh,
about
well.
the same time as Apollo, I think. Early 70s, if I'm not wrong. That would have been the first video gaming.
Was Pong out that early? I thought Pong was like in the late 70s, early 80s. I can't remember.
I almost want to say in the late 60s.
1972.
Yeah, that sounds right.
1972.
Okay, that sounds right.
Okay.
Wow.
A little video
That
game.
man,
with
was
sticks
I
and a
right
ball.
on the money? Like I had no idea that was so close.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's in case you guys didn't know, that's one of the things that Ryan does is he's in video game design as well.
Oh, awesome! I have a friend in that, and man, he loves his job. Plays
Video game
games all day.
development and virtual reality, and so virtual reality is definitely an interesting place to be because you could see, NASA, and they say, oh, you can explore all the planets in VR, and it's the only way we're going to be able to explore them. But yeah, video game development and VR stuff is what I do. As for my job.
Nice.
Yep. Nice. All right. Okay, guys. Well, we are getting very close to the 1 o'clock hour here, 12:56. So I guess we can sort of start wrapping this up, and I will get the Globebuster show ready to start. So everybody that's out there listening on the Jeranism channel, if you'd like to come over to the Globebusters main channel, mods, if you would, spam the link for that in the chat, and it's also in the show description down below. And come on over and let's resume the show over there.
Yeah, and leave a comment on this video when it's done if you like this idea and us doing, maybe we can do a half hour next week. Who knows? If it's something people enjoy just listening to us, I don't know, bullshit before the show. If not, then you can just wait and listen to us bullshit in about 3 minutes. So yeah, so hopefully the mods are spamming that chat over there. So yeah, check us out on the Globebusters channel and subscribe if you aren't subscribed. And the show begins in a few minutes.
All right.
See you on
Sounds good.
the flip. See
you guys over there.
See you on the flip side.
Yep. All right.